sealing the fact that the BJP, JDU plus HAM plus LJP is too difficult to beat for the MJP. Look at these numbers, the poll of poll numbers. Overall, if you were to see, the average or the median is about 140 seats for the NDA. Somewhere, if you were to see, the median comes around between the 140, 145 number for the NDA, and for the INDIA or the opposition, the MJP viewers, the number, if you were to look at it, somewhere around 80 seats. 80, 82 seats is what they are saying the MJP will get. Jan Swaraj Party may not open its account if you were to look at the overall aspect, and others, there are others who could draw anywhere between 4 to 5 seats, 3 to 4 seats if you were to look at these numbers. Now, Dainik Bhaskar, People's Insight, JVC poll, Matriz, and of course the News 18 phase 1 projections. Will get you the phase 2 numbers in a bit. Nalin Mehta, your thoughts?
If these numbers hold up, and like Rahul was saying, we have to preface every comment with that. If they do hold up, it kind of is a huge vote of confidence for the Nitish model and for this alliance. And there's a couple of things to be said on that, because Bihar is one of the worst performing states in the country, on both on nominal GDP and on GSDP and on real GSDP. However, so if you look at FDI numbers, if you look at growth numbers, even Jharkhand grows faster than Bihar, right? So what explains this governance model or this political model after 4? One of the things that Bihar has done well, despite having very little investment, like last year it just got FDI of 215 million. There are no jobs in Bihar, but Bihar has very high social sector spending. Bihar spends about half of its revenue receipts on social spending, and that model has been at the heart of the Nitish Kumar model from the beginning, so starting with funding for women and so on and so forth. Yeah. So while the state is unable to enable the conditions for capital investment, for private sector and jobs and all of that, which is why you have the migrant factor, which is so big in Bihar. For those that remain, the state is providing a safety net which is better than before, and that has got something to do with the other. Otherwise, you would have a massive change. So it's an interesting model, I think. And now with the freebies that have been promised by both sides, the numbers just don't stack up. If the cost of 60,000 crores, if the Mahagadban's promises are to be fulfilled, and about 36,000 crores of the NDA's promises are to be fulfilled.
No, but so I asked this on the first day of polling as well, Rahul. I mean, isn't this at some level a failure of the political opposition there, that they're not able to make this the number one issue, that there's a lack of jobs, there's a lack of employment opportunities, that young people have to leave, and a lot of young people are talking about that. I mean, why do we have to get out of the state?
I mean, 1 in 4 voters are youth voters in the state, and I've already brought out through the statistics that were collected on the back of a caste survey, if you remember, the economic survey that was conducted in Bihar, that a large number of them are earning less than 6,000 rupees. It's a hugely remittance economy. Everyone is sort of out of the state. There are no jobs to be had, hardly any industry. But the fact of the matter is, if you've got one leader who is a challenger talking about SIR and another one talking about bread and butter issues, and both of them are not being able to marry what they believe should be the common narrative, you've got a problem. Fundamentally, a day before polling, you have Rahul Gandhi talking about Haryana and vote chori in Haryana. Look at the message that is going out. Look at PK, for instance, and someone mentioned that they didn't even have a manifesto out. So fundamentally, you have a problem where I think the voter is saying that, look, better the devil we know. We're better off with one lot.
In elections,
let's stick with them. We don't quite know what we're going to face on the other side. I mean, that's my only.
But Rahul, we know in elections, we know in the applied side of politics, in elections, it is not manifesto, but it's money that matters. And for the first time in Bihar, money has come in a. Let me complete. Bihar, money has come in a big way, both informal way or in a formal way also. 10,000 rupees going to women. Of course, it is also perhaps would if these numbers hold true, would be a game changer. It's a different thing. I can always that it took 20 years for people to realize that the women deserve 10,000 rupees, or women deserve or the economy deserves that makhana and makai they were talking about. What was Nitish Kumar doing for 20 years?
But that's also a question to the opposition. Okay. No, I mean if nothing has happened, why are they not able to pin it on him?
I think Tejasvi, who's the face of the opposition in Bihar, made constantly from the day one kept making that berozgari, unemployment as a major issue. You can mock Rahul Gandhi and go on, but Rahul Gandhi was making a very different point.
That there was a period of time when Mr. Tejasvi Yadav, not so long ago, was in power.
No, it's like
I mean, why didn't he in 20 days create this massive...
I have an important question to ask. irrespective of whether people bought it or not, if the result is true, Rashid, what does this mean for Rahul Gandhi? Now, after 2024, then this would be the third big reverse, right? You would have Haryana, you would have Maharashtra, and now Bihar. What does it mean for Rahul Gandhi and this whole campaign of vote chori and all of that, right? What does it mean really?
See, first of all, I think it is wrong and very casual to link, such issues to, outcome. We have first past the post system, and that verdict is acceptable. But the verdict doesn't mean that it would end all those allegations, or some of them are very
he
serious
himself
nature.
is saying that the Yuva must vote on this issue.
Absolutely. But if Yuvas have not voted, that doesn't mean the issue is settled.
No,
See,
sir, it is not that, sir.
Free and fair elections are very important.
May I very humbly present a sporting analogy?
Yeah.
Right. Sir, you don't take a tennis racket to a cricket match. Whatever is the pitch and whatever is the issue there, you have to use the instrument that works there. Correct.
But the umpire need not be Shakur Rana.
No, and you don't. No, it is not even. What's the point? No, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point?
He just took a cricket bat to a tennis match.
I remember Tribune had a headline that Javed Mirdad given LBW in Pakistan.
No, but how does it matter who the umpire is when you yourself have taken a tennis racket to a cricket match? So that's simple. That's the point.
There's a serious question here. Not just about Rahul, but also about Tejasvi. This would be the second election we would have lost, and this is Lalu's last thing, right? What does it mean for RJD? Because RJD is a family-held party. We've seen what's happened to Shiv Sena and so on post Bal Thackeray. Now Lalu is still around, but if this result is there, does it change things for RJD?
Okay, this will was saying something, and then Rahul Verma.
Advani, they formed party BJP in 1980. They came to power in 1996 for 13 days. So these political parties, you see,
you need to have a plan.
I want to go back to the original question: is why did it take 20 years for all of this to happen? The point is that in 2000, after 2005, when Nitish came to power around 2008 or around about 10, there were a huge number of stories that were done on the massive growth rate that Bihar's economy has suddenly shown. It had beat Gujarat and everything. The point was that the baseline was so low that whatever it showed an 11% growth rate, whereas a developed state like Gujarat, it was at 3% or 4%, and it was doing, of course, far better. But these are things that were being compared.
Yeah,
and
not
there's
absolute
apples
numbers,
and
but percentages.
This is your tennis and cricket ball here.
Yeah.
So it took some time. And the point is that if an opposition that was being, made out to be the percussor of a jungle raj, so to speak, if they build up a campaign on jobs, etc., there is a degree of trust that is required, right? That was not getting. When I spoke to women, and I said, look, Nitish Kumar is not extremely well. There's a lot of gossip and talk going around that, BJP will remove him, halfway through his this thing. So do you still believe that he will give? He said, they said he will give. Otherwise, Modi ji will give. But Lalten will not give, we know it.
We know it. So there are two. There is a hedging of the risk in terms of the trust
factor. So there was
factor.
a level of debate that had to be crossed.
We'll go to that after Rahul Verma speaks. He's been putting his hand up and we've not given him a chance.
So just quickly 2 points. I think let's not reduce the election outcome to money, because if money can help, but if that was the only thing, then Jagan Mohan shouldn't have lost, Naveen Patnaik should not have lost, and incumbents would not lose, right? So I think if BJP or NDA comes back to power, I think it would be a combination of factors. Second point, I think Tejasvi did try to, at the end, make unemployment, jobs, Palayan an issue. But the problem is two things. One, he came at that very last moment without any plan, and it's just like throw a number, right? You should have shown that there is a serious commitment to the unemployment issue, and you should have done some sort of math to it. It become more problematic because of Prashant Kishore's continuous attack. That this person has not studied, even after being Chief Minister's son, he cannot have a plan, right? So what the challenge Tejasvi or even Nalin, what he was pointing out with family parties is that they have both an advantage, which is that they get a legacy, so they have a 30% vote to begin with, but they also carry the burden of that legacy.
Right.
See,
I'll be honest, this time around, didn't go to Bihar, but I met Biharis in New Zealand. I met Biharis here in Noida. I met Biharis in Bangalore. 2-3 things which was common across all, thousands of miles apart, and this one. One, बाढ़ का कुछ कीजिए. बाढ़ का solution कौन देगा? हमको जितना the move displacement because of floods which is happening is an issue. Nobody has spoken about it, and find a solution for that was a core issue. Not many parties raised it. Second thing they said, कुछ लोग 20 साल से एक जगह से उनका घर का constituency है, पर घर से गंगा पार जो है, they could not build a पुलिया. This puliya has been built by Nitish and Modi. Then Patna में airport, Purnia में airport. हमने जिंदगी में we didn't even dream, did not even dream that this is going to happen. So if they can do this, and the last one, 10,000 रुपया दिया है. So this came from the ground also, that अगर पैसा दिया है तो उसका हिसाब जो कहते हैं ना नून का हिसाब, जो नमक का हिसाब. That will have to be. That came from Arunima was also talking about that. Even on ground, there were people who said the same thing. But this came from a collective Bihari sentiment. That was the other.
Sandeep
Yeah. Sandeep Shastri ji, yes, sir.
Finally you came to me.
That is the reason why. This is Anand here. That's the reason why we request you and urge you to come and join us in the studio. Sometimes there are so many in the studio, we forget there is somebody outside. Please go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Your thoughts on these numbers so far?
Yeah, I think if the numbers which you have just now discussed is what we will see on Friday, I think it's very clear that the Mahagathbandhan was not able to get its act together. The Congress was clearly the weak link in that alliance. There was no meeting of minds, no similarity of voice in the campaign. And on the other hand, NDA had a very, very well developed campaign. No chief minister candidate officially announced. The BJP led with the prime ministerial face. The JDU led with its leader. And I think it worked for both the parties. The JDU supporters saw their leader in their campaign. The BJP went ahead with its campaign with the prime minister's face. The LJP was not a negative link for the JDU this time. And I think this, if these numbers hold, works good for the NDA. And I think it's very clear that the trust quotient, be it of the youth, be it of the women, the trust quotient is significantly higher for the NDA. But of course, we must take that insurance policy, assuming that this turns out to be right on Friday.
As per the exit poll so far, BJP Bihar mein Kaaba, NDA ki sarkar ba. That's what it looks like. Yes, Nalin.
Three numbers here to put context to these results if they hold. The per capita income of Bihar is 33,966 rupees based on the last data we have.
Right.
Compare that with UP.
Right.
UP is 51,898
Right.
and Jharkhand is almost double at 64,347.
Right.
So, you know, in a state which is so poor even compared to UP or Jharkhand or Madhya Pradesh, the other Bimaru states, Bihar is a laggard in the Bimaru states. If you have a result like this, if these numbers hold, it can only be explained by the politics of Vishwas. While the economy may not have significantly changed, something has happened there where Nitish Kumar remains the one person that people trust, which is what Nithala was saying.
Right, and they got this time around. The BJP did not make any mistakes about putting. In fact, they course corrected. The first set of posters that were put at the BJP headquarters, election war room, and that region in that 5-star hotel, did not have too many Nitish's pictures. Ab ki baar NDA Sarkar was written, but Nitish was not there. Then they changed those posters. Yes, Rahul.
You know, one small point that I just wanted to add to what Nalin was saying, and perhaps you might have a take on it. I just feel that fundamentally you might want to sort of look at once again the way the maths has taken shape in the alliances. And I think we don't have vote share data, which would have been very instrumental in looking
but I
really.
think he'll release the vote share
Okay,
after
that
he
would
gives
be wonderful.
both the phases.
Because
This is Abhi right now projections based on phase one.
We're jumping to conclusions about conversions. We don't know how close these fights are on the ground level. So I think if we can get some of that vote share data, if it's 1% here and 1% there, then things are not as, rock solid.
Last time it was just 2%.
Yeah,
right?
It was less than 2%.
Less than 2%.
1%.
And I think in last time my memory
It
serves
was
me right,
0.7 or
the MJB won phase one in terms of vote
Yes,
share,
yes,
4%
yes.
gap,
Seats which were won
and
by
2 and
margins
3 is when
less
they
than
pulled up.
5%.
Less than
That
5%.
area,
Few
the
seats here and there.
NGP swept.
Yeah.
They would have changed the entire election.
There are a number of swing seats.
Yeah, and this time around there were no comments around caste, around reservation. There were no comments that came from the Sangh or anything that could be blown out of proportion. They were very, very careful. Viewers, we're going to just quickly take a look at all the numbers. The poll of polls is flashing on the screen. Can we go full screen, because there are a lot of pollsters who have come on it. Big numbers that are coming in. Let's try and look at it. Here are the numbers. Let's try and look at these numbers as we walk closely and look at them. Matriz at the top at 147. Is there an outlier that we see? There is no outlier, but there are two pollsters who are giving the Mahagathbandhan more than 100 seats. Two pollsters who are giving more than 100 seats to the MJB. In fact, nearly 110 seats is Chanakya strategy, which is perhaps giving the lowest number for the NDA at 130. Most of the pollsters are giving more than 135 seats, nearly about 140 seats to the NDA overall in this. So 140 seats means a better performance than the last time around. 140 seats is a better performance than the last time around for the NDA. Jan Suraj hasn't been able to make too much of an impact, except for PMark, which is giving it nearly up to 4 seats at the top end, and People's Pulse, which is about 5 seats. The rest aren't. The others, there could be a huge amount of dent there, and there may be those. Dainik Bhaskar surprisingly giving the outer number or the higher number of 10 to the others there. That's quite surprising. There is People's Pulse, which is also saying 8. Who are these people who are to wait and watch? Matriz is also saying 2 to 8 seats to others. So that's interesting. What's the highest number? The highest number that's been given is 167 by Matriz, right at the top there for the NDA, and the highest number for the INDIA Alliance or the MGB is Chanakya Strat at 108 seats. That's the variance that we are getting, but somewhere 140 seats for the NDA overall.
All right. So just as you know, Anand is bringing up the numbers for the exit polls. So just a quick reminder: 7:30 we will have the second phase and the overall state numbers. As of now, we've declared for the first phase, which was 121 seats. It seems like the NDA has definitively the edge there. But I want to go across to just one second, Rashid. We'll come back in just a couple of minutes. If we have our colleague Shivani, who is joining us live from outside the Red Fort, where the blast happened yesterday, in which 8 people have died. Shivani, take it away. What's the latest? What are police sources telling you? What are the investigators telling you?